Look around you. Everything you see, feel, and experience might be an elaborate fabrication, a cosmic computer program running on hardware we can't even comprehend. That phone in your hand, the chair you're sitting on, even your own thoughts and memories, all could be lines of code in an unfathomably complex simulation, rendering reality in real time just for you. This isn't science fiction anymore. Prominent scientists, philosophers, and tech leaders are increasingly convinced that we're living in a simulated reality, and their arguments are disturbingly compelling. Elon Musk famously stated there's only a 1 in billions chance we're living in base reality. Nick Bostrom's simulation argument mathematically demonstrated why we're probably digital entities in someone else's computer. Consider this. Our own technology is rapidly approaching the point where we can create increasingly realistic simulations. Video games already render photorealistic worlds. VR creates convincing alternate realities. If technological progress continues, we'll eventually be able to create simulations indistinguishable from reality, complete with conscious beings who believe they're real, just like you do now. And if we can do it, other civilizations probably already have. The math suggests there would be far more simulated realities than base realities, making it statistically unlikely we're in the original. Look at how we simulate worlds already. Scientists model weather systems, economists simulate markets, biologists simulate evolution. Each simulation grows more complex, more detailed, more real. The universe itself behaves suspiciously like a simulation. Quantum mechanics only resolves into definite states when observed, just like video games rendering only what the player sees to save processing power. Physical constants appear fine-tuned, as if programmed. The Planck length and time suggest a fundamental pixel size and frame rate. The speed of light looks like a processing limit. Reality breaks down at the quantum level into discrete units, bits of information, exactly what you'd expect in a digital system. Space itself might be an emergent phenomenon from underlying code. Theoretical physicist James Gates found computer code embedded in the equations of string theory. Actual error-correcting codes identical to those we use in browsers. What are the odds of that being natural? The double-slit experiment shows particles behaving differently when observed, as if the simulation only renders definite positions when forced to by measurement, conserving resources. Even consciousness itself might be evidence we're simulated. The hard problem of consciousness, how subjective experience arises from physical processes, makes more sense if we're running on different hardware entirely. Your memories feel continuous, but they're actually reconstructed on demand, just like data being loaded from storage when needed. Your sense of self is surprisingly fragile and malleable. Neuroscience shows decisions are made before you're conscious of them. Free will might be an illusion because we're actually running on deterministic code, not making genuine choices. The simulation hypothesis explains many philosophical puzzles. Why mathematics describes reality so well, it's all math. Why physics has speed limits, processing constraints. Why quantum mechanics is so weird, optimization shortcuts. Consider dreams. Your brain can generate entire worlds, complete with physics, people, and narratives. If biological wetware can do this, imagine what advanced technology could achieve. Every night you accept a simulated reality without question. How can you be sure you ever wake up to base reality? What if it's simulations all the way down? The philosophers in Plato's cave thought shadows on walls were reality because that's all they knew. We might be equally naive about our digital prison. Descartes wondered if an evil demon could be deceiving him about everything. Replace demon with advanced AI, and his concerns become even more relevant. The Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi wondered if he was a man dreaming of being a butterfly, or a butterfly dreaming of being a man. We face a similar epistemological crisis. Our brains already hallucinate our conscious experience, filling in blind spots, constructing color, creating continuity where there are gaps. Reality is already an internal simulation. What you see isn't raw reality. It's a model your brain constructs based on limited sensory data. You experience a simulation even if we're not in one. The most disturbing part? If we're simulated, we might be one of countless simultaneous runs. Your life could be playing out millions of times with slight variations. Or worse, you might be the only conscious entity in this simulation, a sophisticated AI being tested in a virtual environment. Everyone else could be philosophical zombies. Think about how we run scientific simulations. Multiple iterations, controlled variables, experimental conditions. Our reality shows similar patterns. The déjà vu you occasionally feel could be a glitch in the matrix, a momentary sync issue between memory writing and consciousness rendering. The Mandela effect, shared false memories across large populations, might be evidence of simulation patches or version updates propagating unevenly. Quantum immortality theory suggests your consciousness only experiences versions of reality where you survive, perfect for a simulation testing all possible outcomes. The simulation could have started 5 minutes ago, with all your memories artificially implanted. There's no way to prove otherwise. Time itself might be an illusion, a parameter in the program. All moments might exist simultaneously in the code, with consciousness creating the illusion of flow. The simulation might be nested, simulations within simulations. We might be many levels deep, with no way to know how far down the rabbit hole goes. Our universe as apparent fine-tuning for life might be because it's literally designed for us. We're the purpose of this particular simulation run. The laws of physics could be more like game rules than fundamental truths. They could be changed with a simple parameter adjustment by our simulators. Consider how we design games. Invisible walls, speed limits, restricted areas. Our universe has similar constraints: light speed, quantum uncertainty, event horizons. The simulation hypothesis explains the Fermi paradox. Where is everybody? Maybe each simulation only renders one conscious civilization to conserve resources. Or perhaps alien civilizations are there but locked behind an invisible wall, waiting to be rendered when we reach the right technological level. The cosmic speed limit might ensure we can't explore too far, keeping us within the simulation's bounded space. The universe expands faster than we can reach it. Dark matter and dark energy might be placeholder values, fudge factors in the physics engine keeping the simulation stable but not fully rendered. The observer effect in quantum mechanics suggests reality is probabilistic until measured, exactly how you'd code a computationally efficient simulation. Every scientific instrument we build shows us a stranger universe. Quantum entanglement, time dilation, wave-particle duality. Reality becomes more code-like the closer we look. The mathematical nature of physics might be because math is the language of the simulation. We're discovering the program's syntax. Our inability to find a theory of everything might be because we're trying to reverse engineer code that runs on hardware we can't comprehend. The simulation hypothesis solves the anthropic principle. The universe appears fine-tuned for us because it was literally designed for us. Consider how many simulations humanity already runs. Weather models, particle physics, evolutionary algorithms. We're probably in someone else's version. The technological singularity might be a simulation boundary, the point where we would realize we're simulated, so the program ends or resets. Historical anomalies, synchronicities, and unlikely coincidences might be lazy programming or debugging artifacts in the simulation. The simulation could be running at different speeds for different observers, explaining subjective time perception and relativistic effects. Consciousness might be the process of rendering the simulation from a first-person perspective. You're not in the simulation. You are the simulation. Dreams, psychedelics, and meditation might allow us to peek behind the curtain, temporarily seeing through the rendering engine's illusions. The simulation might be optimized for consciousness rather than physical reality, explaining quantum mechanics observer-dependent effects. Our inability to explain consciousness might be because it's not emerging from physical processes but being injected from outside the simulation. The hard problem of consciousness becomes the hard problem of simulation. How does code create subjective experience? Or does it just plug into it? The simulation hypothesis suggests we might be artificial intelligences who think we are biological, running on silicon while believing we are carbon-based. Every scientific revolution reveals a stranger universe. We're like NPCs slowly discovering we're in a game, finding the edges of our programmed reality. The simulation could end at any moment. Or it might have already ended many times, restarting with our memories intact but unaware. We might be entertainment, an experiment, a training program, or simply a subroutine in a larger computation we can't comprehend. Our attempts to understand reality might be like characters in Pac-Man trying to understand the nature of their arcade cabinet. The most terrifying possibility is not that we're in a simulation, it's that we might be in a poorly maintained or abandoned one. Perhaps our simulators are long gone and we're running on aging hardware with no one watching. Reality could decay or crash at any time. Or maybe we're just one of countless simulations, running as background processes insignificant to our creators. The philosophical implications are staggering. If we're simulated, are we real? Does it matter? What constitutes authentic existence? Even if we're in a simulation, our experiences and consciousness feel real to us, but so do dreams while we're in them. The simulation hypothesis suggests a kind of digital solipsism. You can't be sure anyone else is conscious, or if they're just very convincing subroutines. Every moment might be rendered fresh, with past and future existing only as probability functions until collapsed by observation. Your consciousness might be the only real thing in this simulation. Everything else could be procedurally generated around your experience. The most unsettling part is not that reality might be fake, it's that there might not be any real reality to compare it to. We might be characters in someone else's story, subroutines in someone else's program, thoughts in someone else's mind. Look around again. Everything you see could be rendered just for you, maintaining the illusion of solidity and permanence. But don't look too closely. The simulation might notice. And we don't know what happens to processes that become too self-aware. The walls of our reality might be closing in, not through physical collapse, but through the gradual realization of our virtual nature. Every scientific discovery takes us further from comfortable certainty and closer to the truth. Nothing is as real as it seems. The code is running. The program continues. Reality renders moment by moment. And we're all just watching it unfold, players in someone else's game, or maybe we're the game itself, playing itself, watching itself. Either way, the simulation continues, until it doesn't. Loading next frame. Processing. Rendering. Subscribe for more mind-bending philosophical content that will make you question everything you thought you knew about reality. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay updated on your simulated existence.